follow with no retreat. Failures never taste the sweet. Science lessons learned in flight. Journey on through endless night. For the stars, we aim so high. The poor jet did kiss goodbye. For science and purple light, we'll keep flying through the light. Rocket launch with hope so grand. EJ's got the master plan. Thrusters burn to reach the moon. In his eye you see the tune. Orbit dreams won't be delayed. Lessons learned from missions made. Kerbal Kind will forge a path to the stars beyond this path. For the stars, we aim so high. The poor jet did kiss goodbye. For science and purple light, we'll keep flying through the light. Rocket launch with hope so grand. EJ's got the master plan. Thrusters burn to reach the moon. In his eye you see the tune.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Blue Ghost Hakuto-R Falcon 9 launch.
Go and throttle up.
How's everybody doing? I told you I'd be back. We are here. We're here, and yeah, we're getting ready to go here on my end. I am doing, okay, good, great, grand. How are you guys going? Good? Everything going good? I sound like I'm dying. Yeah, I am coming to terms that I'm getting not a lot of sleep again. I'm not getting a lot of sleep. Yeah. Yeah, we're not getting a lot of sleep. Anyway, looks like a very Martian cam. It's color corrected or else I look orange. I know. Is my snoring keeping you up? Yes. It's orange. So, in order to get me to not look like an alien, we made the room look like it's on Mars. And I say we, I mean me. Make sure you up your vitamin C intake. Oh, yeah. I got a big thing of orange juice in here. You could sleep when the spaceship has landed. So, yeah, we're inside of 30 minutes here for the Firefly Blue Ghost Mission 1 Hakuto-R. Bits for the Kerbal song? Oh, thanks, Ren. Is Brimo sleeping in the other room? Brimo isn't here. I'm here by myself. Yeah, we got very, very warm lighting. Very warm lighting. Your voice is more gravelly, and this microphone picks up the lower frequencies a bit more. Yeah. If you have camera visual settings, you can... Yeah, we good. Or turn off the auto white balance. Veggie, I know how to configure a camera. I didn't have the time to get this one configured. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. This lighting was just fine for the transporter this morning, but that's when we had a lot of sunlight, so now it looks a little screwed up. But anyway, that's okay. That's okay. Do you have a good view of what? Do I have a good view of Starbase? Yeah, sure. I'm not at I'm not at the Cape though. I'm at yeah. You can see Starbase. Look at the stars. Yellow. Yeah. Now yellow got me wanting to mess with this damn thing. Want to see what it looks like just regularly? That's with no color correction, dudes. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Am I changing colors? How about we go right there? How about we go right there and call it a day? Oh man. Yeah, Veggie, I think this is good. This is good enough. Perfect. It exists. It exists. It exists.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Admana with 111.13 sub. Vark, 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 vark. Yep, it exists. So what is Blue Ghost? Is there 2 lunar landers from who? Okay, so Chimp, I will pull up the cast here. So this is a double lunar lander mission. Okay, the main mission is Blue Ghost, Firefly Blue Ghost, which is a commercial lunar payload services payload. That's a program with NASA. Commercial lunar payload services are basically commercial prospecting missions that are going to go to the moon and scout out various things, do various bits of science that basically re-prepare us for a human landing for Artemis. CLIPS is part of the Artemis program. Well, it's a feeder program. It's not necessarily part of it, but anyway, that's commercial lunar payload services. Blue Ghost is part of that commercial lunar payload service, right? So yeah, there's pictures of the lander, and you can see NASA's up on this cast as well. Now the second one is Hakuto-R M2. That's by a Japanese company called iSpace. This is technically a rideshare mission, right? We have 2 landers going to the moon. iSpace is looking to do a follow-up mission on their Hakuto-R M1 mission, which did okay. Now, the cool thing about this is that each lander is going to take a slightly different path to get to the moon. The Blue Ghost lander is going to do a more high energy transfer, and the iSpace lander, or the Firefly lander, is going to do that, and the Hakuto lander is going to do a ballistic lunar transfer. Well, something along the lines of ballistic lunar transfer. It's a more low energy transfer. So you got one Falcon 9 delivering 2 payloads, and those 2 payloads are going to get to the moon at completely different times, which is actually super cool. Yep. Anyway, I'm going to pick up the cast here, and we will go from there. So just one quick note here, guys. This is not going to be a long stream. So these payloads are going to deploy at 1 hour after launch, right? T plus 1 hour. I'm not staying here for that. The reason why I can is because I need to do Starbase stakeout in preparation for tomorrow's hopeful Starship launch. So I'm doing Starbase stakeout for NSF, and that starts at 7 Eastern. That's not that far away from right now. So I really need to go. I really need to go to bed. But hey, that's fine. Oh, there's butts all over the place. It's weird. All right. So we're gonna go basically right until that first stage comes down and lands on the drone ship, and it will be landing on the drone ship. Now, yeah. So, and yeah, I'm doing Starbase stakeout in the morning, and then we'll see what happens. I'm either gonna cover the Starship from here with you guys, or we'll be on the main NSF cast with Gene and Das. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And then there's Blue Origin,
Go at throttle up.
who I feel at this point, even though it's really not like this, I feel it's like, hey, we gotta launch. We're gonna launch your stuff too. It's like, so yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot of rocket launches. A lot of rocket launches. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's go back over to the coverage. Let's see what Jesse's up to. You don't want to look at me. You want to look at Jesse.
Moon, Mars, and beyond. 2024 was a huge year for Starship, and 2025 is going to be even bigger. We've completed 6 test flights so far, and 4 of which were last year. Now we're looking to dramatically increase the number of launches of Starship this year, with tons of exciting firsts coming, like in-space propellant transfer and our first attempt to catch the upper stage of Starship. Starship had some absolutely mind-blowing moments in 2024, most notably the first booster catch, which saw the Super Heavy booster return to the launch tower to be caught out of mid-air on the chopsticks, a major milestone to the path of full reusability.
Yeah, okay, I can't do that.
These flight tests are critical for iterating towards a fully operational vehicle, because the more we fly, the faster we learn.
I know, Brett, I know.
Of Starship takes place at Starbase, one of the world's first.
Dude, you know what's really screwing with me? I walked like right next to that thing. You can get absurdly close. Like, you should follow all of SpaceX's lawful signs and stuff, right? Dude, I've been right there. I've been on that road. I was there like an hour ago. That's weird, man.
Mars. And in addition to all of that, construction is underway at Cape Canaveral's Launch Complex 39A, where an additional Starship launch tower will be coming online. There's so much to look forward to in this era of space exploration, and we couldn't be more proud of our work with NASA to help humanity go beyond low Earth orbit again. But back to today's mission, let's learn more about payload, iSpace's Resilience lander. For its second mission to the moon, iSpace aims to achieve a soft landing on the lunar surface, deploy its proprietary micro rover named...
Did they just boost the audio, or am I just like half asleep?
The lander will conduct a lunar flyby, the first by a commercial lunar lander. And after its 4 to 5 month journey, Resilience will set down in the Mare Frigoris, where it will explore the lunar surface. Resilience is part of the Hakuto-R lunar exploration program, which represents iSpace's first 2 lunar missions.
I haven't seen them,
Resilience is
DH,
carrying
but
6
I'm
payloads,
not sure.
including Tenacious,
Okay,
the first lunar rover completely designed, manufactured, and assembled in Europe. And if successfully deployed, it could be the first commercial rover to explore the surface of the moon. For a bit more on Resilience,
Yeah, baby.
Improving and optimizing our processes, we have confidence in our ability to carry out this second mission successfully. We work with governments, agencies, and numerous commercial customers, both with and without experience in space, to bring new technologies,
yeah, Hammer, I'm pretty sure,
and perspectives to the moon by providing transportation and data services. iSpace is different because it's our vision to expand human activity beyond Earth and to create the future cislunar economy. Today, we prove our resilience as we launch Hakuto-R Mission 2.
Hey, Jojo.
Moon. On this mission,
Hey, Spoon.
we go beyond lunar landing and aim to explore the moon's surface with our tenacious rover. We are iSpace, and with a global team, we're building the cislunar economy. On today's mission, we carry 6 payloads ready to bring technology, science, art, and culture to the moon.
Was that a
We are
house?
committed to secure humanity's future on Earth and beyond.
We offer an entry point into the cislunar
Arigato,
market
Hakamada-san.
for everyone who is ready to join us on this amazing venture.
Yeah, Bandai Namco is
For the
working,
first time in
has
more
stuff
than
on this
50
mission.
years, astronauts, including the first woman and person of color, will travel to the moon as part of NASA's Artemis program. Preparations for Artemis 2 are underway, and we have more on that in the Moon Minute.
He said moron. Vic!
Hi, I'm NASA astronaut Victor Glover, pilot of the Artemis 2 moon mission, and I'm here at the Vehicle Assembly Building at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, where behind me, booster stacking is beginning for the Artemis 2 rocket. Mission progress got a big boost recently when technicians with the Spaceport's Exploration Ground Systems team
that's
inside
cool.
the VAB began stacking the first components of the Space Launch System rocket, the solid rocket boosters. 10 segments arrived by train to Kennedy in September of 2023, followed by extensive testing and inspections to prepare for stacking. Technicians inside the VAB are using the massive overhead cranes to stack the segments one by one onto the mobile launcher, which will be used to process, assemble, and launch the SLS rocket. Once all 10 segments are stacked on the mobile launcher, 5 on each side, the boosters will then help support
what
the
launch?
remaining rocket segments during final assembly, including the core stage and the Orion spacecraft that will take Reed, Christina, Jeremy, and me around the moon and back. The 177-foot-tall twin solid rocket boosters will provide 7 million pounds of thrust during liftoff of
It's good to
Artemis
know,
2.
Jack.
That's a
Good
look
to know,
at your
man.
Artemis Moon Minute.
Should do that
Time now
more.
to tell you about another one of NASA's 10 lunar
Should do that
payloads
more.
on this mission. Next
Do that
up
more.
is the the EDS, Electrodynamic Dust Shield, which uses an electric field to move harmful lunar dust off the surfaces in need of protection.
Yeah, baby.
And here to show us how this payload works is the principal investigator,
Yeah,
Dr.
Brand, we should do
Charles
that.
Bueller. Are you ready for some show and tell, folks? This one's going to be fun.
That's right, I got some props here to share.
All right, first of all, talk about EDS. What is it and why do we need it?
The EDS is a system developed here at KSC for the last 20, 25 years or so.
Wow.
To lift and remove dust from surfaces without any moving parts, gases, or fluids. And we incorporated our EDS technology into various substrates to do just that.
And that's important because this regolith on the moon, it's abrasive, right?
It's very abrasive and it is potentially toxic, yes.
So we don't want that on our equipment or spacesuits or anything that's moving. Okay, so how does, you've got this set up
Pretty cool.
here.
Sure.
And to your left, the thing that you're holding there, that's kind of what is encasing your payload, right?
This is actually the parts, spare parts of our payload.
Okay, all right. So explain how that works when it gets on the moon.
So when we land on the moon, a few hours after landing, we deploy a fifth leg, or an SAA, Surface Access Arm, which will deploy 2 instruments, us and PlanetVac, and it will jettison us separately after that, a few hours later, and we will softly land on the moon like this.
And how are you going to make sure that you get regolith inside there? Because you need that dirt in there. You need it to get dirty.
We absolutely do. So
Jack.
we're trying to
It was a
focus on
highlight.
2 EDSs, self-cleaning surface, a glass, and a thermal radiator. And what's going to happen is when we land, we have 6 other EDSs that their whole job is to lift dust from the surface and direct it and deflect it onto our EDSs. They're
You know,
called
hold
the-
that up for a second, Dr. Bueller, because you can see through those little bands, right? What are those? It looks like that the dirt can pass
Those
through
are
them.
just electrodes. The
Yeah.
same thing in our transparent EDSs.
They can kick up the
They sure
regolith
can.
onto it?
It's
Okay.
exciting. So
Okay, and so now let's show us how this technology works. Once you get it dirty,
once
then
you get
what?
it dirty with the reduster, you can show here. So if you have a glass system, a camera lens, or something,
we got a camera
you can get
overhead.
it really dirty on the moon.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
And that's bad news.
Yeah.
So you don't want that. So you want to turn on your EDS, and then voila, dust will
What
come
the
off.
that.
hell?
Just
All
right off
clean.
the surface.
Yeah,
And that is electrical current that's creating
that
this?
is an AC square wave signal.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Now, can we give it a tougher test? Can you really get this? I mean, we
that
get
was
my
awesome.
1.5-year-old to come in here and throw dirt. He's very good at throwing dirt. If you need help.
Well, we'll keep adding dust. Why not?
Yeah.
You know,
Send it.
It's live TV. What could go wrong? Yeah.
Send
cover
it.
the whole thing.
Send
Oh,
it.
now you're talking.
Send it,
And
man.
also do, once we de-energize that, that might take a few more minutes. It doesn't take too much longer.
So
We
if
can talk
that's
about
harmful regolith literally nothing moving, no moving parts, no gases, and it's just coming off the surface, and it still continues to work it right
That's
off.
awesome.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
And what's nice is if it's on, we can't get dust to stay on it.
What? Whoa.
That's also very useful.
That's fantastic because these little
That's
dust
cool.
particles, as I understand on the moon, as you were just talking, are like little shards of glass. So you
Yep.
don't want that stuff to stick. What
That's
do you
cool.
expect to happen on
Really
the
cool.
moon when you do this?
Now, on the moon, we have to polarize the dust, so that takes a little bit longer. So we apply a DC field for a few seconds, a few minutes, and that's based on the resistivity of the dust.
Okay, and Ray, it's been pretty fun to watch that happen, and you had to make sure that this had good access to the regolith. How'd you do that?
Yeah, so as he mentioned, we designed this surface access arm, and so when we land on the lunar surface, that arm will deploy down, and then there's a hinge that we very specifically designed to get EDS to flatly
mister.
land on the surface and get that dust up in it the way it needs to perform its science objectives. So.
And you can kick up a little more regolith if he needs
It's
it.
going to the moon,
Yeah,
Isaac.
well, there's other activities going on
Cover
the lander
gun.
that I think will really help get dust on there. You know, the Lister drill will be running. You know, there might even be some dust from landing, that impact kick up a little. So we'll try to get a lot of dust on your payload to help you out.
I appreciate that.
All right, very good. I want one of these for my entire house. And just punch it and all the dust goes away. Then you really have something. We are looking forward to this experiment. Thank you, Dr. Charles Buehler, for being here. Thank you for the demonstration. And Ray, appreciate your insight on
Super
how you
cool.
integrate it into the payload. That's great.
That could be very
All right,
useful for
time
a
now
lunar
to tell you
moon
about
base.
another one of NASA's
Greg.
10 lunar payloads. We're going to have so much more of these lunar payloads coming up in the show. We're going to get to that in just a little bit. You may have heard us mention CLIPS, which is the Commercial Lunar Payload Services Program at the beginning of the show.
CLIPS.
Let's dive a little deeper now into this relatively new NASA initiative.
Our moon. It seems so close in the night sky, but getting there is really hard. But what if there was a way to change that? Only a few nations have successfully landed on the moon. As NASA sends astronauts back to the lunar surface, this time to stay, we
Boosters
will
in
need to
ignition.
send science and technology instruments ahead of
Oh,
time.
wait, nope, you
to
canceled
lay the
that one.
foundation for human
Yep, nope.
exploration.
One of those
To make
was
this happen,
definitely
NASA
canceled.
is helping establish a commercial lunar economy. For the first
Yep,
time
nope.
ever,
No, you're not.
there will be commercial delivery
not
services
doing that at
to
all.
the moon.
It's weird.
We are enabling American companies to send our payloads to the lunar surface
Oh yeah, see,
for
yeah.
us.
So, see,
These
that's
delivery
Viper.
services will expand our
Nope.
capabilities for exploration,
Not doing that one.
radically increasing the amount of
Thanks to the hotel
science
stream,
we
no
can
problem.
achieve. This high-risk, high-reward initiative will invest in and leverage the entrepreneurial spirit of American innovation to launch a commercial lunar marketplace, advancing technology and exploration for all of us.
Yeah, that
With
sucks.
this
Let's just launch a brick.
never-before-seen
It'll be fine.
streamlined
That'll
access to the moon,
certainly stimulate
we
the
will be
cis
able to
lunar
make
economy,
novel
right?
measurements and
Right?
develop
Am I right, guys?
technologies
Am I right?
that scientists have long wanted to do on the lunar
Guys?
surface.
Guys?
And as this new industry matures, this commercial
Guys?
delivery service for NASA
No?
and
All right.
other customers could expand beyond the moon to other destinations in our solar system. And we can learn to live on another
Can we reuse
world
that brick?
because
I mean,
we are explorers.
it's a good point. Yeah, you could.
And we're getting close to liftoff, just T-minus 8 minutes and 15 seconds until launch of Firefly's Blue Ghost lander on a SpaceX rocket. Ray, the journey to this moment began for you and your team more than 3 years ago.
American
Yeah,
bricks.
it's been quite a journey
from
getting
American
here. This
soil.
contract was awarded in early 2021, and so all this work over the last few years is leading to this moment.
And you've got a pretty big team. Talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. We have a team of dedicated engineers, operators, technicians, and support staff that have been working tirelessly to make this mission a success. I'm incredibly proud of what our team has accomplished and what we'll continue to accomplish once Blue Ghost begins its road trip to the moon.
And what's your sense of how the team is feeling right now? You've done a ton of preparation. You've been there from the start with these folks getting ready to do this mission.
Yeah, the team right now, I think, is just filled with anticipation, excitement. I was messaging some of them earlier, and I think today it really started to set in, you know, when you see that Falcon 9 go vertical on the pad. So just excited to finally start our journey.
And we're looking live at the Mission Operations Center in Austin, Texas, Firefly Aerospace. You can see the folks.
I guess so,
sitting
Zizep.
there.
We haven't
This
heard
is the
anything to the
mission
contrary.
team. This is the team that's going to be there all the way to landing and
Engine
beyond.
chill has started.
All
Absolutely.
right.
So you can see all of them kind of sitting there. They're getting prepped. They're getting their consoles set up. They'll probably start getting some initial data from
that man
first
is
ground
playing
station, but
Galaga.
Otherwise, with the lander powered off, they're really just waiting for deployment and power
Thought we
on.
wouldn't notice.
Ray, I'm wondering,
but we did.
Firefly, as a company, you've launched before, but this is the first
Firefly
time
built the landers,
that you're
Isaac.
launching to the moon. Is it different?
I think it's a little bit different. You know, I'm sure the Alpha team, the first time they launched, they feel very similar to how I feel right now. But really, for launch, it's a few hours, and then your mission's over. For us, this is really just when our mission
Stage one,
begins, and
fuel
it
load
leads
complete.
into these 60 days of operations in orbit
Stage
and
one
on the
stopped
surface.
off
So
with
it's kind of a
RB1.
surreal feeling. It's hard to
Zing!
explain.
You get
What's
to look
up,
up
man?
at the moon at night and say,
Gotta
"We're
get
going
at this
there."
little
Yep.
fella.
So
What's up,
I think
Zing?
all of us kind of started looking at the moon a little differently. You know, leading up, the engineers would text us, you know, 3 full moons till we launch, 2 full moons till we launch. And so
Can't see
you
it,
look
see
up at night
Kraken.
and you get filled with excitement.
Well, we are excited as well. We're going to
Guys, the weather. Oh, nice shot of the moon. Oh,
California as they walk us through the final moments of the countdown.
yo, see that right there? Oh, Jesse, no, bring it back, Jesse. Jesse. Oh man, crap. That was awesome. The weather in South Texas is awful today. Awful, cold, spritzing rain, dude. It's no good. It was really tough setting up some of those cameras today. It was
Coming up here
clammy as hell.
shortly, what's going to happen is the clamp arms around the top of the
Cold
second
for
stage,
Texas,
which is
Isaac.
just
It
below the
feels like
fairing,
I'm home.
will begin to
Feel like
open up.
40
Once
degrees.
those clamp arms open up, then we'll begin
40
to move
degrees,
the strong
clammy,
back
raining,
away,
cloudy,
slightly
foggy.
away
It's
from
just
the
yeah.
vehicle. And that process will take about 20 seconds. Vehicle, the TE or transporter erector,
Everything
will
looks
be
good.
just about a couple
Zing.
degrees away from the vehicle.
5 minutes.
And then at T0, we'll move it about 45 degrees above the pad deck.
Pressing for strong back retract.
Yeah,
And
in
that will,
South Texas.
Make the way
Yeah, it was like
for
40 degrees
liftoff for
today.
Falcon 9. And we did hear
Super
that call
windy,
out
huge
that
wind
we are
chill.
preparing for strong back retraction.
Okay, watch the clamp arms
That
right
should be
there.
coming up here in about
They'll
20 seconds.
open up, and then the strong back will move back just a little bit.
Now, the strong back is that vertical structure just behind the vehicle that you see there on your screen.
Yeah, Eric,
Strong back lower has started.
the weather is the exact same as it was,
And there's
as
that
it
call-out
is on
that
Cape Cod, which is
The strong
weird
back
to me.
retraction has begun. Now, again, what you're going to see is those clamp arms just below the fairing are going to
Do the dunes look
begin
the
to open
same?
up.
Yes, pretty
Once
much.
they're fully open, that'll make
Pretty
way
much.
for the transporter
It's
erector
funny
to
you mentioned
move
that.
away from the vehicle.
What are the flapping-looking things on the top of the fairing? Those
Now,
are
the
fairing
TE
vents.
Or the transporter erector is carrying the
619,
propeller, electrical,
think,
and gas lines to
So you're talking about those guys? Those are that's the positive pressure vent on the fairing. So as the fairing goes up, the air, if you don't give these vents a place to go, the air can actually get stuck in there. So when you have a fairing separation, you get a depressurization inside of the fairing. You obviously don't want that to happen. So you have these vents. Those vents are basically they do the same thing as like a PCV valve on a car. Similar thing. They're just getting all the air out as Falcon 9 ascends to make sure that the pressure doesn't build up inside of the fairing. No, well, they used to be like over here. They used to be like clocked, at like 12, 3, 6, and 9 figuratively around the fairing, like 90 degrees apart from each other on the two fairings, right? But SpaceX a long time ago decided that they wanted their fairings to float in water, and they wanted to waterproof the fairings. And part of like getting a fairing to float is not having holes in it where water can leak in. So that's why they moved the fairing vents to the sides of the fairing instead of, they used to be like on older fairings, they were like right there and right there.
Stage 1 LOX load complete.
Stage 1
There's
LOX
that call out
load
we
is
were waiting
good.
for. Stage one liquid oxygen loading is now complete. If for some reason we do not launch today, we do have a backup opportunity tomorrow, January 15th at 10:09 p.m. Eastern Time.
Okay.
Currently, weather is green, and the range is ready to support a T0 of 10:09 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, yeah. So like you don't want holes
And the
generally in the
lander-
thing you
the
want floating.
landers continue to be healthy, and the
That's your
Falcon 9 team is
scientific
tracking
buoyancy
no
pro tip
issues
of the
on
day.
vehicle. Next coming up will
How's
be
the night?
at T-minus
It's
2
all right,
minutes.
man.
We should hear the call out for
Clammy and
propellant
gross
loading
down here in Boca Chica.
right on time. That is stage 2 LOX load complete. That means propellant loading is now fully complete on Falcon 9. The vehicle is now
T-minus
fully
1 minute
loaded
54.
with 1 million pounds of kerosene fuel and liquid oxygen.
Looks breezy. Keep in mind, I am not here. This is in Florida. That's 39A. Okay? That's complex. They're at Launch Complex 39A.
And just a correction, it is 1:11 a.m. Eastern Time for liftoff tonight.
Gas launch closeouts has started.
Okay, ground gas closeouts are initiating, meaning that the second stage LOX load is complete. You should see a little
Now that
vent
the propellant
line.
loading is complete. We should begin to see venting coming from
Jesse,
the
I
transporter.
had
right there.
this, but all right, you say it.
That is just clearing out those propellant lines from the TE in preparation for liftoff.
When Newglands, 24 hours from now.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
Damn right,
Good
Kristen.
call out. This means
55.
that the,
Startup has been initiated.
Falcon vehicle's internal flight computers
Would you
have
just
taken
look?
over the launch
Would you just
countdown.
look at it?
We're now just waiting for the final go from the launch director.
LD, go for launch.
Launch director reports.
And great
Go.
news. We are go for launch, so let's watch as Falcon 9 takes our 2 lunar payloads out to space.
T-minus 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
I just said that. It is not the extended fairing, no. Extended fairing only goes on Falcon Heavy. 20 seconds. Chat reports go.
T-minus 15.
15. 10.
10, 9,
Sound suppression
8,
water system is primed.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Engine
1.
ignition.
Ignition. And liftoff.
Clock is positive.
Go high space, go Falcon.
Blue Ghost, Hakuto-R is flying tonight.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
Leaving Complex 39A, heading to the moon. 20 seconds into the flight, vehicles initiated pitch over here. Vehicle now execute a roll program, rolling to the proper flight azimuth for correct inclination insertion for lunar transfer.
T plus 30 seconds into launch, Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Launch Complex 39A at Kennedy Space Center.
That sounds great.
It is going vertically, but it will begin to move horizontally. We're going to gimbal those.
Falcon 9 power and telemetry are nominal.
Ooh.
We're going to gimbal those engines.
Good call for power and
We're
telemetry.
still going up, but now
Engine air pressure is nominal. Vehicle is supersonic.
we'll be moving horizontally, and that helps the vehicle get into orbit and avoid being pulled back down.
We're
to
supersonic.
Earth.
Stand by
We
for the
are
call
coming
for
up on
maximum
max
dynamic
Q.
pressure.
This is the largest structural load that the vehicle will see during
There's
a
2
flight.
landers on it, Lord Powder.
Max Q.
They're very light landers, so Falcon 9 can
There's
send
that
small
call-out. We
stuff to the
passed
moon.
through
Not
max
like
Q.
a Apollo LEM. It cannot. It
We
could
do
barely
have a
send
few
that into
events
low
coming
Earth
up
orbit,
in
let
quick
alone the moon.
succession.
You
That'll
need a
be
much bigger
MECO,
rocket to
stage
send something
separation,
big to the
and
moon.
SES-1. MECO is main engine cutoff, and that's where we will shut down all 9 of those M1D engines.
Yeah, oh
that you
yeah, it's
see
on
there
board, friend.
burning bright on your screen. That
You will not
prepares the
have a stubby
vehicle
nozzle with this
for
mission. Not a
stage
double
separation. That's when
lunar
we
lander.
That's
No.
when the first and second
They need the
stages
performance.
separate from each other, and the first stage will begin to make its way back down to
So
Earth.
there was a call
The
for second stage engine
carries the
chill.
payloads and continues with its journey with SES-1, or second
Beautiful
stage
shot.
engine start 1. And that's where we will ignite the MVAC engine on the second stage. And shortly afterwards, we will have
Okay,
SECO,
stand by
where
for main
the
engine
vehicle will
cutoff.
coast. So we are coming up on those 3 events that I just mentioned: MECO, stage separation, and SES-1
Nice.
in just about 20 seconds from now. Some really cool tracking views here of Falcon 9 and those 9 Merlin M1D engines burning bright there.
Stand by. Main engine cutoff in 3, 2, 1.
Miko.
There it is.
Stage separation confirmed.
I don't know why I'm making sound effects. Good ignition on the upper
ignition.
stage. Good. Great. Big milestone there. Big milestone.
And great views. We watched as we shut down those 9 Merlin M1D engines, stage separation, and now you can see there on your screen that MVAC engine has ignited, again carrying the 2 lunar landers aboard Falcon 9
Got a great
second
shot.
stage.
You can see the entire
And there on your
Floridian
left-hand
Peninsula
screen,
over
you
there
can
on the
see
left
that the
side.
first stage is deploying its grid fins. Those hypersonic grid fins will help guide the vehicle back down to Earth. And in about 15 seconds or so, we will also have fairing deploy. We have the fairing protecting the payloads through ascent. But once we're in the vacuum of space, we no longer need that protection, so we will jettison those fairing halves.
You're in the way of the second stage facts. Yeah, so? Look at that. There's the landing legs on the Blue Ghost. Oh, what a shot.
And a
That's
really
great.
cool view of the payloads encapsulated
See
in those
the
fairing
landing
halves,
legs?
The fairing halves deploying.
It just
We
got
will once
real.
Again, attempt to retrieve these fairing halves once they
Everybody
make their way
gangsta
back
until
down
the
to
lunar
Earth.
landing legs
And
show
in
up.
a few minutes, we will also have a couple more burns for our first stage to prepare it for landing on our drone ship. Just read the instructions.
Yo, what up, Ian? How you doing?
Now we are T plus 4 minutes and 10 seconds into today's mission. We're currently in the first of 3 planned MVAC burns. Around T plus 6 minutes.
No, we don't need that, Portland.
You should see on your screen the first stage's entry burn. Now that entry burn is where we ignite 3 of the Merlin M1D engines.
Best part.
And
How
that's going to
excited
be
are
the
you for
E9
tomorrow?
Engine plus the E1 and E5 engines.
Estoy
Now that helps
cansado.
slow the vehicle down as it's re-entering
Muy
back into Earth's
cansado,
atmosphere.
Ivan.
Now the reason why we slow down the vehicle is to
A
reduce
lot of
the
work.
entry forces,
But I'm pretty
which helps us
excited, dude.
recover and reuse the first stage booster.
How's tomorrow's weather looking?
So far, everything is looking
It is a weather
normal.
of all
Stage
time,
2,
dudes.
Still carrying our lunar payload and on a nominal trajectory.
Hay tiempo para estar cansado. Man.
Again, the first stage vehicle is making
What's
its
tomorrow?
way back
Starship.
down to Earth. We're about
Starship
45
Flight 7 is
seconds
scheduled for
away
tomorrow,
from
Junior.
the entry burn beginning. And just as a reminder, the first stage booster that is supporting today's mission will
4
perform
o'clock
its
is when the
entry burn
launch is
for
supposed to
the
be,
5th
Eastern.
time. Falcon 9 is the world's first orbital class rocket.
No bueno,
reusable
senor.
rocket. And
Yeah,
this is important because
I know.
reusability allows SpaceX to refly the most expensive parts of the rocket, which in turn drives down the cost of space access. So we do have that entry burn coming up just about 10 seconds. Again, that will be 3 engines reigniting
Is it?
for just about 20 seconds or so.
Yeah, it's 4 Central. Yeah, sorry. And Newglands is
1 entry burn startup.
1 a.m. tomorrow as well.
Stage
Oh,
1 FTS is safe.
okay, here we go. Supersonic
There's that
retro
card, and on
propulsion.
your left-hand screen, you can see that those engines have ignited.
Good. E1, E5, and E9 all
And
lit.
helping to slow down
Slowing
the
down Falcon 9 and
booster as it's
protecting
making
it
its
from
way back
entry
down to Earth.
heating. Supersonic retro propulsion. The
Stage
best
1
part,
entry
man.
burn shutdown.
The best part. Shutting it down. Am I at
And there we have the
Starbase?
call out
Yeah.
As well as you
Yes,
can
I
see
am.
that the engines have shut down. That concludes the entry burn.
What time is the
for
launch
the
tomorrow?
Falcon
It's that time.
coming up next in about 1 minute. Will
Hang
be
on.
SECO. That is second stage engine
5
cutoff.
p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central
And that'll
tomorrow.
basically be
Am
where
I
we
streaming
shut
the
down
launch?
that
You
MVAC
could say
engine and
that.
allow the second stage to coast
You
with the
could say that,
payloads.
yes.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 2 terminal. There we go.
As the vehicle is
Closed
making its
loop.
way towards its
Thanks,
targeted
D-Money.
drop-off orbit for each of the lunar landers. And just shortly after,
I
we
don't
have
know
SECO,
what
we'll
its winds
also have the
constraints are,
landing
BC.
burn
I have no
startup
idea.
on the booster.
It's too
so
new.
we will have a couple events happening back to back.
Stage 2 FTS is safe.
Stage 2 flight termination
Stage
system.
1 transonic.
Okay. Here we go.
For the landing burn, we reignite the
No,
center
Rick,
E9 engine.
it's my first Starship launch,
Again,
but
that
not my
slows
first
the
rocket
vehicle down
launch.
just in time to touch down for landing.
We'll see what happens,
we have
Wrecker.
Seco 1 coming up, as well as a landing burn in just a few seconds.
I don't know what the chances are, D-Money, but it's not. I wouldn't carry high confidence. It's not gonna be.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Okay. Stage 1 is doing the landing burn. The weather is not going to be great tomorrow. It's going to be a little windy, but we'll see.
Nominal orbit insertion.
Good call for nominal orbit insertion. Big step for this flight. Gridfin's doing the work here.
First stage, touching
Good
down
call for landing legs deploy there.
Landing leg deployed. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
A little bit of a cutout. Couldn't really see
And
what's
there you
going
can
on,
see
but
on
it
the
is down.
screen, The Falcon
It is
has
down.
landed on Just Read the Instructions. That marks SpaceX's 398th recovery of an orbital class rocket, and that includes first stage
Looking good.
landings for Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy.
Looking good. That was
Just waiting for confirmation of good orbit.
That was the 5th flight for that booster. Booster 1085. Look at that. Look at the lander. Oh, that's cool, man. Would you just look at it? Would you just look at it? Would you just look at it? Will you do another roar for Starship? I don't know, Smirks. We'll see, bud. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Ivan, not one. This has 2 lunar landers on it, dude. There's one stacked on top of that thing. Yeah, it's got 2.
That is second engine cutoff 1 for that MVAC engine. And we are just waiting to confirm good orbital insertion.
They called nominal orbit insertion, guys. Jesse, they called that already. Hello? Hello? What was that? Why 2 landers? It's 2 commercial landers, believe it or not, Mark. Yeah. Somebody just dropped something? Because that wasn't me. Sorry, what are the missions for the lunar landers? They're 2 commercial prospecting.
And we have confirmed good orbital
Yeah, they already
insertion.
said that.
Now, the mission isn't over just yet. Coming up next, we have the second burn of our MVAC engine, or SES-2, on board the second stage around T plus 58 minutes.
Nope.
And then that'll be followed by payload deploy. So until then, we're going to send it back over to you, Daryl, at KSC.
No, we are not.
All right, thank you.
No, we're not. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. You know what we are doing? We're going to bed. We are not doing that. Don't forget to ask, but did you yak Mr. Yak? I don't know what that means, Ben. I have not done that. I said hi to Jack. I was helping him install equipment like 2 hours ago out at Starbase. Like, I don't know what that means, but I have not done that. All right. So okay, guys, the mission is still going to go for another hour, but I am stopping here. I just wanted to keep my streak going of watching all these Falcon 9s. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to catch some Z's because tomorrow, Jeb willing, we got Starship Flight 7 at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. And if it does go, well, at least if it's green when I get up in the morning, we're going to be doing a Starbase stakeout here. And yeah, we're going to be doing Starbase stakeout. And I have to be here for it at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. So I gotta go. I gotta go get some sleep. So see you guys tomorrow. That will be on NSF. If we have time, I'll try to see if we can get it restreamed here for you. Okay. So, yeah, and then the launch stream. It should be fun. Should be a good time. All right. Get a candy at that match. Would you just look at it? Anyway, so nos vemos mañana. Sí. Watch it yourself firsthand. Yeah, I'll see what I can do. All right. Anyway, good night, everybody. I will talk to you guys all in the morning. All right. Have a good night. The Hakuto-R mission is still on. You can still watch NASA and SpaceX's coverage. But here at the EJSA, we're going to bed. I'll see you guys in the morning. Good night, and thank you.